Hi everyone, so I guess this is part one of my long-awaited 2PM collection update. So today I wanted to share with you all of my 2PM related photo books. I'm splitting up this collection series into multiple parts because 2PM just has a lot of things, and I think instead of trying to rush through everything to cram it all into one video, just dividing it up this way will make it more interesting. So you guys could see a little bit more of what these photo books look like than just saying, here it is. And I do like to make these collection videos more for information's sake than, I guess, bragging rights. I think, unfortunately, a lot of collection channels have this reputation of trying to brag about their collections, but that's not really what these videos are about. It's more for letting people know who are interested in collecting what's available out there and what things look like. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. I've been collecting 2PM for over 5 years now, and while my collection is still not complete and they always have new things coming out, I think that's one of the fun things about collecting, is kind of a never-ending project, and it's fun to kind of slowly go about getting their things and seeing them displayed on your shelf. But for these photo books today, I'm going to have everything grouped into, I guess, types of photo books. So, for example, photo books that were released for a concert, or photo books that were released for fan meetings, acting projects, etc. So I think down in the description I'll have some timestamps. So if you want to refer to this video again, it should be easier to navigate with the timestamps. And another, I guess, disclaimer is that this is technically not all the 2PM things I own. I have shared other things in past videos for a few things that you might see omitted in this video. I do have a few 2PM related things tucked in storage back home, so I don't have access to them now, and I have the majority of my collection with me now, so I thought I would just share what I have just for new collectors out there interested in collecting 2PM. So I'm going to start with concert related photo books, starting with their Japanese tours because they have the most for those. I am missing the really large pamphlets they had for, say, Takeoff and 6 Beautiful Days. Those, again, just aren't with me at the moment. But we're going to start off with Republic of 2PM. And so this photo book has this slipcase cover, and it's a nice hardbound photo book, and they have just some nice group shots, various different photo shoots in here. So, nice old concert photo book that I quite like, and this is easy to find on proxy sites for fairly cheap. Then next we have Legend of 2PM, a nice, again, hardbound photo book. And there's not as many, I guess, diverse concepts in this photo book, but they all kind of have funny expressions, so I do quite enjoy this one. Then for their next tour, Genesis of 2PM, we have a smaller, soft covered photo book. And these have a lot of shots from their trip to Frankfurt, which was where they shot their season's greetings for the Japanese fan club in 2014. So, has some really nice photos in there as well. Now for 2PM of 2PM, this is probably one of my favorite tour photo books. So it comes in this little folder that you can remove. And again, we have this soft cover photo book, but this is from their Sakura photo shoot. So there's a lot of very pretty photos in here. So yes, definitely one of my favorites. The next up is 6 Higher Days. And so there's a lot of interviews in this photo book, which are all in Japanese, but there's some nice shots of everyone, and a lot of these pictures are from the music video or from the merchandise photo shoot they had for this specific tour. Now we're on to the Galaxy Emotion book. So this is sold at their Galaxy tour, and you just have these really large LP-sized pictures of them and showing, I guess, different emotions. So there's at least one crying picture for all the members. So I don't really look at this too often, but it does have its very nice large size photos. So they didn't have a photo book for their Dome tour, which was their last Japanese concert, but they did have this Galaxy of 2 PM making book. And I'll share more of the making books later when we get into solos, but this was the only making book they had for their group concerts. And there's just a lot of pictures from kind of the entire process of making their Galaxy of 2 PM album and concert. So you have a lot of nice images in here. They're not as glossy as these other concert photo books, so it's a matte finish, but there's a lot of good images in here. And now for Korean group concerts, sadly there aren't a lot of photo books for any of those tours, but we do have this house party pamphlet. So this just has a lot of images from kind of the merchandise shooting for this concert. And then for their last concert, 6 Nights, they had this brochure that's kind of bound together by this elastic. And you could take these photos out, but as you see here, so you can't really flip through this easily, but this has just a lot of their kind of graduation photo shoot images that, again, you can take out and stick elsewhere if you don't want it all together in this portfolio. So next up are the solo concert related photo books. So this does make up a significant portion of my collection. And I'm going to start off with Junho because he was the first one to have a solo concert. I'm starting with his Sunshine book. So this was from his Kimi no Koe first concert. And this just has a lot of images from his music videos that he shot for this promotion period, and the merchandise as well. And so this is the smallest of the photo books, as you'll soon see. And we have the Feel photo book here, which I feel like is notorious. There's a lot of nice images of blonde Junho kind of relaxing at home. And we also get some from his sort of music video shot kind of area. So another nice one that I recommend. Then for Last Night, we have another nice large photo book of him in Hawaii, where he shot his music videos for So Good and Fire. So there's a lot of nice casual photos of him in the beach or indoors. There was an artist making photo book for this, along with other concerts that I'll be going over, but I'm going to share those at the end. Since those weren't all sold at the concert, they're usually sold after the concerts for the most part. And so for his Hyper Tour, he did sell this photo book of pictures of his cats. That is really cute. So those were all photos taken by Junho of Johnny and Rory. And then for the brochure kind of photo book that they sold at the concert venues, I believe, we have just more of the merchandise kind of photo shoot. So a lot of different types of photos in here. The next we have the encore concert for Hyper, called Last Hyper Night. And I love this photo book too, though it is much thinner than all the other ones. And so that was the last kind of larger brochure type photo book. That's not an artist making photo book for his concerts, and none of the other members had photo books like these for their Japanese tours. So I'm going to go into the artist making photo books now. Again, starting with Junho. So these started around his Last Night tour, and this came with a special making DVD. But we just get more pictures from him in Hawaii. So they're not quite the same images as the previous photo book I showed you for Last Night, and you get more kind of music video shots in here. And now for Hyper Tour, that's when I think they started using this kind of slipcase packaging, and the same sort of setup that we saw with the Galaxia 2 PM artist making book. So these are just packed full of different images that they use some filters and kind of, I guess, try to make everything look artsy. These are a lot of fun to go through, and you kind of see the whole process of what he went to make this concert and music videos and album and whatnot. And then this is the only other artist making photo book that also came with postcards. So all the other ones didn't come with cards. The next is his 2017 SS artist making book. And this is another favorite of mine because of how just colorful it is. And we get some images of when he was in LA shooting his music video. And now for his winter special tour, when he was promoting Winter Sleep. This is when they started getting a little bit thinner, but the photo images are, I think, higher quality. So they have less of that faded matte look finish to them. And there's still a ton of images in here. It's just, I think the paper makes everything much more compact. Now for the flashlight tour. I've done an unboxing of this one specifically, but I'll flip through this again. So there's a lot of scenes from his music video. And at the end there's also some shots of the first Zepp concerts as well, which I happen to be at this one, so this makes this a little extra special for me. And then lastly, just to finish off Junho, I'm going to share his Korean concert photo books, starting with his Last Night in Seoul concert. So this has a bit of a hollow kind of sheen on the cover, and I really like this photo shoot. I think it's one of my favorites because he kind of tries to look like a rock star. And then for his last concert, Junho the Best in Seoul, we have this photo book with his Little Prince concept. Alright, now on to Junkei's concert photo books. So he has 3 different artist making books. So this is the first one from his Love and Hate tour. Again, this is kind of the bulky matte finish style. next we have Love Letter. And then finally we have his No Shadow artist making book. So for him, I'm not sure which one's my favorite. It's probably Love Letter because that's sort of my favorite era for Minjun's, I guess, Japanese tours. But the images in all of them are really nice. And then next up is Wooyoung. So we have his Rose concert showcase. And I've done actually unboxings of all of these on my channel somewhat recently. So you could see these much better in those videos. But I'll just quick flip through. Next is Party Shots, which, as you could expect, there's a lot of ridiculous pictures in here. And lastly, we have his Matabokoa one, which is again the thinner one with, I think, the better quality paper. And this is by far my favorite one, but I'm kind of a sucker for all things Matabokoa era. And then last but not least is this photo book, which was sold at his first Korean concert, his Encore in Seoul. And there's a lot of dark images in here that was part of the merchandise photo shoot. But you have just a lot of nice, I guess, brooding Wooyoung in here. And before we move on from the concert photo books, I'm going to share some of the JYP Nation photo books I have. I don't have some of the earlier pamphlets. I left those in storage back home. But I do have a few 2 PM specific photo books with me, including their first Lovely book. So this is kind of like cardboard pages, and it's like one of those kind of kid flip books that you could go through. Like so. Various images of them. And then they also released their second one, I think in 2014. Similar sort of structure. And then for JYP Nation 2016, they had each group have their own photo book sold, I think, at the specific concert. Some nice images of all the guys in here. So this, I believe, was sold at the Korean concerts, though they may have also sold this at the Japanese one as well. I'm not totally positive. And then lastly, this is sold after the event, but they did release a mix and match photo book with photos from that concert. So we have a small little 2 PM section here, and then all the other JYP Nation acts from 2016. And then before I forget, speaking of commemorative books, they did also release a MOOC book. In Japan for the Republic of 2 PM concert, So this has just a lot of images from that concert, kind of looking back. And I forgot to share that earlier. And I believe they didn't do this for any of their other tours. They only did this for their Public of 2 PM tour. And briefly, I'm going to go over their fan meeting photo books because there's not a ton of them. Starting with their Class of 2 PM from their 2014 fan meeting. This photo book just has kind of the merchandise shot once again for this specific fan meeting. And then they have this fan meeting photo book from their Yazoo fan meeting in Japan. This one I've also done an unboxing of on my channel. So you have a nice kind of Christmas concept in the front, and then you have just kind of a write-up of all the members' characters in their Zoo PM outfits. And some interview kind of things. And then for solo fan meetings, we have 2 from Junho, as well as 1 from Chansung for all of their Korean fan meetings. So the first one is Junho's Canvas fan meeting. And this is one of my top favorite photo shoots for him. And unfortunately this photo book is hard to come by these days. Usually the Seoul kind of special event photo books and things are harder to get secondhand because there weren't as many released compared to their Japanese events. And then we have his Unforgettable Day fan meeting, which again has a very nice photo shoot. And then lastly, for Chansung, we have his Music Bless You photo book, where he's just in this fluffy sweater. And next, I'm going to share, I guess, some miscellaneous photo books that don't really fit into a particular category. And I'm going to start with their collaboration photo books. First with their Koei Water Day with 2 PM photo book. That's what this one looks like. And then the other collaboration photo book they had was with Calvin Klein, and this is just known as The Book. I've done an unboxing for this one as well, but this is another notorious 2 PM photo book. A lot of, I guess, shirtless photos with them in jeans as well. So yeah, you can see a full unboxing of that on my channel as well. And then I'm not sure why they released this photo book, but I'm glad they did. This is their Omnipotence photo book that I think was released around Grown era. That was before my time in the fandom, so I'm not really sure of the timeline. But this photo book is, I guess, more artsy, you could say. And there's some really nice images in here. And I'm sure there's unboxing of this photo book on YouTube somewhere. That's just a small glimpse of what it looks like. And then finally, for I guess miscellaneous group photo books, I have the Gentleman's Game monograph. So they released this after their album, and it came with postcards that went in there, and there's also a making DVD with, I believe, English subs. And there's just a lot of nice photos just from their music video shoot. And then the last miscellaneous Korean photo book I have for 2 p.m. Is Wooyoung's photo book that was released simultaneously with his last Korean album, which in English went by Bye. So there's just a lot of nice photos of him in his home and also the Duka music video photo shoot and his Seoul concert. So I guess it was released after his album and after his concert, but yeah, we have a nice kind of little making photo book from him. And this next segment is going to be for all of their exclusive Japanese fan club photo books, starting with their private photo books. So we have the first one here that came in this bag. And this is when they were in Phuket for one of their season's greetings shots. So this has a lot of nice images. Next, for their private book 2, this comes in a slipcase similar to the artist making books, and it came with a bookmark, and it also came with a DVD, which I set aside somewhere. Let me grab that. So with this DVD, and these have some nice photos, again from one of their season's greetings, and music videos that they shot at the same time. And then for their last private photo book 3, making a book, we can have a bookmark, DVD, and a photo book. And this is again where they shot one of their season's greetings. And what's also special about this one is it came with additional postcards, I believe, that are tucked away in my binder. And then lastly, for their group fan club exclusive photo books, are their 3-9 books. So this first one covers the 2011 to 2013 activities in Japan. And I've done a full unboxing of this as well, so I'll just flip through this quickly. So these are massive and very worth getting if you can find them used on a proxy service for a good price. And then we have the most recent one covering their 2014 to 2016 activities before they went on group hiatus. And again, I've done a full unboxing of this as well. And it does come with a postcard in addition to this photo book, but I will just flip through this quickly. So lots of good content in here. And now on to the exclusive Japanese fan club solo photo books. So I'm just going to go through these in chronological order, since Juno does have the most of these, but the sizes are pretty different. So I'm just going to get these larger ones out of the way first. Chansung was the first one to release a solo photo book for Japanese Hottest fan club. And I've done unboxings, I think, for all of these traveling alone photo books, is what they're kind of referred to as. But just some quick flip throughs. And these all also came with DVDs. This is what the DVD looks like for this one. Then Junho was next, and with sort of a similar theme of a winter kind of traveling alone journey. That's what this one looks like. And then the last one for these massive photo books is Wooyoung, and he has a brighter summer or spring kind of concept. So that's what that looks like, and his DVD looks like this. Now for the smaller ones that they've been making more recently. So we start off with Taekyeon's gourmet photo book. So this one was a little bit different in concept too, because we have Taekyeon traveling various restaurants in Japan and eating. And his DVD looks like this. And then we have the Junho's second one. So this is when he was in LA for his 2017 SS music video shootings. With this DVD. And then we have one for Kun. And this is when he was in Thailand. And again, I just really love all these traveling alone photo books. They just have a lot of great images in them, in variety, with this DVD. And the most recent one is this Junho one when he was in Paris. With this DVD. So we have one for all the members except for Minjun, so I'm really hoping they make one for him soon so that you have one for every member. And these last few segments are going to be for their acting projects, so photo books for their dramas, movies, or plays / musicals. And I'm going to try to put all these things in chronological order. I might get some things mixed up, but I don't think that really matters. So this first one is for Dream High. So this has both Taekyeon and Wooyoung in it. And it's actually Wooyoung's only Korean drama that he's done. And I don't think he's gonna make any more, but you never know. There's just a lot of scenes from the drama, and I think in the text there's kind of explanations of how some things were kind of shot and whatnot. And next we have these two photo books from Taekyeon's drama. I'm blanking on the English translation. It's The Wonder Years? I'm probably getting this wrong. I'll put on the screen what it actually is. But we have this Taekyeon exclusive photo book that I'm not sure where this was sold. It must have been sold at some event. And for some reason I thought this was brought over to Japan, but for some event, but yeah, there's Japanese in here. So I think they're trying to promote this drama in Japan, and this was during one of the events. They were selling this. So just have a lot of stills of Taekyeon in this drama. And then this one is, I think, more of a pamphlet about this drama, so has Taekyeon and the other actors. And looks like some interviews or little descriptions about the actors and probably the concept of the drama. And next, this was technically classified as a DVD, but I'm going to stick it with my photo books. And that is the Chief Kim DVD slash photo book. So it does come with quite a few DVDs in here. Unfortunately, they're not English subtitled, but they're mostly just kind of behind the scenes and making for this drama. And then in here we have just a lot of photos of all the actors, and we have some Junho photos as well, of course. So that's what this looks like. And I keep forgetting to specify if something comes with cards or not, but this does come with postcards. None of the other ones come with cards. And some of the Traveling Alone photo books came with cards, just Junho's LA one did. But I usually talk about photo cards in my photo card specific videos, so if you're not sure if something comes with cards or not, you could always ask me and I can let you know. And then lastly, I'm going to share this, I guess, a novel for Chief Kim. I do have novels for Confession and some other dramas that were usually added to the DVD box set, but they're not really photo books, but there are images in here of the actors, so I'm just going to include that in this photo book section. And there are two different covers you get with this particular book. I have the one with the yellow cover. So most of my movie photo books are really Japanese photo books that are typically distributed during screenings for these films. The first one I have is the Beyond the One Day. So this is when they were trying to promote both 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. in Japan. So this is more kind of text heavy, but there's some nice images in here. And then next we have the Ouran High School Host Club. So this is the first movie that Kun was in, I believe. And this was a Japanese film, and he played a character that spoke English. The film's kind of cringy, but it's funny if you want a good laugh. Then we have Dynamite Family with Chan Sung. So this is a Korean film, and this is the Japanese brochure that they had when they screened this film in Japan. And they did something similar with Cold Eyes, which was Junho's first acting project, first film. And then we have this special making book for a Japanese film that Chan Sung was in that I sadly can't find anywhere. They sold DVDs of these, but they are usually snatched up whenever someone lists it. This does have spoilers, I think, at the end, so do be careful. I won't try to flip at the very end. But yeah, it comes with a DVD, and it's kind of very fragile packaging, so if you're looking for that, be sure to note of its condition. And then we have Magic School, which has Nikun in it, and this was a Korean web drama with also Jin Young from GOT7. So this is a very just simple brochure with various images in it. And then we have the brochure for Taekhyun's film House of the Disappeared. And then I wasn't sure where to stick this exactly, but this is the tie art manga for Junho's film Roses and Tulips, and so the writer of that film also writes mangas, and so she made a manga for that film while this was promoting. So this is a nice thing to have, especially if you're a Junho fan. And you do have, I guess, just these pictures of him in the back. But everything else is in Japanese and the manga version of the film. And now for the last section, I'm going to share all the musicals and play brochures that we have for both Junkei and Chansung. Starting with Junkei, there are actually 3 different brochures you can get for his Three Musketeers performance. So this is one of them. This is one of the Japanese ones specifically. So you'll see some other idols in here, but Junkei is also in this particular production. And then we also have this for another kind of year production of this. And I believe this is, again, the other Japanese one. So this ran, I think, 2 times in Japan with Junkei. So there's his page and little bio. And then they also have this in Korea, which I don't have that brochure as of now. And then all the rest of these are Chansung productions because he's been involved in quite a few musicals and plays, especially before he enlisted. Starting with Altar Boys. So he was in this for 2 years. This is the first year. So we have him, just skipped over it there. And the other idols who were in this, and so this was a Japanese musical. And then this was the second running with Chansung in it. There he is again. He was also involved in The Interview twice as well. And this was a Japanese production again. So that's what this one looked like. And then for the second running with Chansung in it, we have all these images. Yeah, so I believe, yeah, that was the first and this is the second, or I might have them switched. Either way, there are 2 different ones. Then he was also involved in some Korean productions, including this one. This one is Short and Sweet. And then lastly we have Smoke Here, which was another Korean production. And then his little page bio. So those were all of my 2 p.m. photo books. So I hope you guys found this interesting and also informative if you're looking to collect 2 p.m. photo books. If you have any questions about any of the photo books I shared today, let me know down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer your questions. I know that collecting 2 p.m. could be very daunting because of the amount that they have out there and their stuff's not the easiest to get a hold of. And a lot of times you have to resort to using proxy services to obtain any of it. That's something you definitely can do. You can always find a lot of these being sold secondhand. You might have to wait a bit, especially for some of the more desirable photo books that are hard to get a hold of. But it's definitely worth waiting if you can, instead of paying premium prices for a few of these. But I'll have part 2 of the series up soon-ish. I need to film it. So let me know down in the comments if you would rather see albums first or DVDs or I guess solo albums. I'm going to probably divide up group and solo projects. So it's not too long of a video like this one I'm sure will be when I go to edit. But yeah, I hope you guys are well and will have a great rest of your day.